Everybody, and welcome back to Dance Life Love TV. Today is the second episode of Real Talk Wednesday. So today I'm going to be sharing my thoughts about the BET Experience 2018. All right, guys, so diving right in, this video is mainly going to be about the improvements that BET has made to the BET Experience. I went to the BET Experience in 2015. I actually went to the celebrity basketball game. It was me, my sister, and a few friends, and we just got together and decided to go this day. One of our friends had already got the tickets and all of that. And needless to say, I did not have the greatest time. Well, I don't want to say I didn't have a great time. I was just disappointed in how disorganized everything was. And I wasn't expecting that at all. So I'm going to talk about a little bit of my experience then, and then talk about the improvements that BET has made since 2015. So just the brief overview. For those who were following me back in 2015, I did make a video about my experience at the BET celebrity basketball game. And it was real. It was just like, I had such a bad experience. Like, what happened outside of getting into the actual arena, like, it was just so bad that it stuck with me. Like, when I got home, I was like, I couldn't wait. I ran in. I was like, I'm about to film this video. And then I ended up filming it that night, but then I filmed it again in the morning just to get some better lighting, because I was just like, no, I want everything to get in this video. So since then, I have actually put that video to private, just because I just don't want any negativity on this channel. It was getting a lot of views, but I just was like, man, I don't want that out there. I just want positivity on this channel. So I have made that video private, but for those who were following me, subscribed to the channel at that time, you have seen the video and you know exactly what I was talking about. Shoot, I don't know, maybe some of y'all was there and experienced the same thing. But obviously so, because BET started making changes immediately, and the next year it was completely different. So the first thing that I mentioned was the wristbands. There were too many wristbands, in my opinion, and too many steps you had to go through to get the wristbands. And the wristbands were actually distributed right there while we were there. It was just weird. It was like our friend had the tickets, but it's almost like you just didn't even need the tickets, because when we walked up, there was no distinction between those who had tickets and those who needed tickets. It seemed like the staff and everyone was just like relying on the people there, like coming to the basketball game, to form our own lines. And that's just crazy. It's like, why should we form our own lines? Like, we don't know what's going on. Like, we're asking you because we don't know. So basically what happened is they lost crowd control. Everybody was just smushed against the doors. Everybody was smushed together. People were just getting kind of restless. We kept asking people questions. They didn't seem to know what was going on. The crowd, I mean, we're asking each other questions. What do we do? Or what's going on? That's really terrible. That means there are no clear, concise instructions on what is supposed to be going down. So I'm just thankful that nothing crazy happened. No fights broke out. Everybody was able to enter the building safely. But it's just going through all that drama, and even the workers not knowing what was going on and arguing with people in the crowd. It was a mess, y'all. It was just crazy. I was like, wow. Because we know that BT is a professional network. So going into it, I didn't expect to experience any of that. So once we got inside, we had our bags checked, and then we got a wristband, and then we got in another line to get another wristband. And that's just when I was like, BT, this is too many wristbands. Why are we having to get so many wristbands? This doesn't make any sense. So improvement number one, BET has actually changed that. And they started that in 2016. They changed it to where wristbands were being mailed to fans, and I think they activated it through the app. I'm not quite sure the app was like going at that time. But I know that the wristbands had to be mailed to you. Oh, you registered through the app, and then the wristbands were sent to you, already like activated and stuff like that. So kudos to BET. That was the first improvement that they made, and it has made things go a lot smoother because now you're not getting wristbands at the event where there's just so much going on and there's so many things happening where it's just, that's just one more thing to have to do is pass out wristbands. And now they've improved it even more because now you actually go pick up your wristbands at a will call, and then you activate them through the app. So, and you can pick up, as many as you request, and you activate them through the app. So when you actually get there, everything is all set, it's done. And I am so happy that BET just keeps improving on this, because wow, man, if y'all were there at the 2015 BET experience, like at that celebrity basketball game, you would understand how happy I am that BET stepped it up. Moving right along, second thing that BET improved on was the lines. I said this in the first video that there was no distinction between lines and who went where, and that's another thing that they improved on, is that they now have distinctions of lines. There's, hey, you got your wristband, you go over here. If you need wristbands, you go over there. If you are going to this thing, you stand over here. BET, thank you so much. Thank you for that. Because when it comes to crowd control and it comes to just making sure everybody is just moving along in an orderly fashion, you need to have designated areas. You need to have people working those designated areas that's knowledgeable and actually knows what's going on. So the communication needs to be on point. So I'm just glad that that's something that they jumped on right away, because as I had mentioned in my original video, a fight could have broke out, a riot, anything could have happened, because people were just getting like upset and just really confused. And you just don't want to create confusion with big crowds and people just getting tired and restless and not knowing what to do, and then having workers or volunteers, I don't know if they were workers or volunteers, coming out and then arguing with people and doing all that mess. And yeah. So the third thing that BET has improved on is, I would say, privacy, because me and my sister, we actually went down to LA Live last Thursday. We were going for something else, not anything to do with BET, but we went down there just to eat. And what I noticed is that they had fencing up. So they had like a fence, and it was just blocked off because BET always has something going on during the BET experience, like outside concerts and just little things going on outside. And this particular event was hosted by Amara La Negra and Safari. And I just loved how BET created that privacy factor. So that way you wouldn't have people just randomly like standing there watching like, oh, what's going on over there? It creates a situation where, again, it's safety again by keeping it blocked off. Hey, if you want to see what's going on, you can look at the little screen up here. But most people are not going to stand there for 2 hours or whatever to watch a screen. Like, they're just going to kind of look and then go about their business, which is what they need to do. So that is another major thing that BET has changed. Bravo. I don't know who BET brought onto the team. I don't know who they fired. I don't know what was said during the meetings. But obviously some serious conversations were being had, because I don't believe I was the only person who complained, and I shouldn't have. Because if you want to see things change, if you experience something that you don't like and you're just like, man, this isn't right, like something should be done about this, you need to speak up and say something and actually do something about it. I was so much to the point where I was like, yo, put me on the team or something like that. Like, let me be the change I want to see. Let me be a part of this to help give ideas, but you know, I kind of was part of it anyway by making that video. Because in that video, I said, I hope this gets back to Deborah Lee. I hope the powers that be see this. So obviously they did. And obviously other people really took it upon themselves to, you know, share their thoughts too and didn't just stay silent. And I'm glad, because it really is, it feels so good to know that BET listened. Actually listened to the feedback and they actually implemented change. And to me, that's just amazing. I no longer have that negative association to the BET experience because of all the things that people have been telling me. My sister's been going for the past few years after 2015, and just all the improvements and the things that they have done. It just makes me, I'm proud. You know, from a business standpoint, I'm proud because that's what you're supposed to do when your target market is giving you that feedback, that constructive feedback. It's up to that business, that organization to make those changes. And BET did. And they did it very quickly to make sure that it did not happen the next year. So BET, thank you so much. You have just refreshed my whole idea of the BET experience, because I was really just like done. I was like, I'm not coming to any BET experience ever again. I was so set on it. And now I'm like, hey, you know, they changed. They made so many improvements. So now if someone asks me, hey, what do you think about the BET experience? Like, should I go? Whatever. I'll be like, yeah, absolutely. You want to go? Just go. Like, they got everything organized. Like, you know, you're going to be fine. There's food. There's this. There's that. So there's a lot of positive things I can say. So thank you again, BET. Thank you so much. I do want to say, because some of you guys might be watching this like, well, how come you haven't gone back to the BET experience? For me, I'm getting to the point where I'm just getting too old to even be a part of that crowd. I look young, but at the time when I went in 2015, I was already in my later 20s. And so now it's just like, some of these artists, I don't know who they are. I just don't. I'm looking at the roster like, what? Like, a lot of the artists that we have seen that were popular in 2008 and 09, some of them, they're still performing at the BET Awards. They're still doing some of the events. But now it's a lot of up and coming artists, and I don't know who they are. I don't know what kind of music they make. I just, yeah. And usually that's a sign when you are getting older. And I've had this conversation with my sister, and I had this conversation with other people in my age group, and we're like, yo, when did this happen? Like, all of a sudden, we just don't know anyone. Like, we don't know anyone except for all the other folks, the, I guess, old timers that are like in their 30s and 40s. And these are the people who are leading like the talks, and you know, they're still performing at like the BET experience, but the BET Awards. But as far as the BET experience goes, it's looking really, really young, like 19, 20, 21 young. I just don't want to feel like Kerry Washington's character in I Think I Love My Wife, when she was like, yeah, I'm the old in the club. I'm not trying to feel that way. And, you know, if you're older, you might feel that way. The only way I probably would be at the BET experience is if I'm working the experience. If I'm doing something like hosting a red carpet, hosting an event or something like that, that's probably the only way that I will be at the BET experience, is if I'm working behind the scenes or something. Other than that, just attending Fan Fest and attending some of these activities going on, I won't. Just because it's starting, you know, when that generational thing starts happening and you're feeling like, maybe I should be doing something else in reference to this, and instead of being in this crowd full of 19-year-olds. But anyway, that's it. Don't want to go too long about that. But let me know, have you gone to the BET experience? And let me know what year, if you have. What year did you go? How was it? Did you like it? What are some things that you maybe didn't liked? Just let me know in the comments below. All right, guys, that's it for Real Talk Wednesday. If you have enjoyed this, please give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel so you can catch all of the Real Talk Wednesdays. This is a new series of mine, and this is the second episode. I'm so excited about this. Coming soon is going to be Fashion Fridays, Motivation Mondays. So this whole channel there's going to be so many great things coming from this channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because you do not want to miss out. I will see you guys on the next video. Have a wonderful day. Bye.